the spotlight tonight is Ashok Venkatesh from Derby, a deputy head teacher, and his specialist subject is Led Zeppelin. Laura Campbell from Oxford, a graduate student whose subject is the fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. Russell Turner from Norwich, a postgraduate student, and his subject is Gustav Landauer. And Diane Hallagan from Leeds, an assistant accountant, and her subject, the Hercule Poirot novels of Agatha Christie. And welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. It's the second round stage, which means that tonight's four contenders are battling it out for a place in our grand final. It also means that sat amongst them could well be the next Mastermind. They're that close. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Ashok Venkatesh.
Your occupation?
Deputy head teacher.
And your chosen subject?
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin in 2 minutes. What was the name of the drummer who's credited with giving the band their name after he said that they would probably go down like a Led Zeppelin?
Keith Moon.
Yes, what was the title of the first Led Zeppelin album to be released on the band's own label, Swan Song?
Physical Graffiti.
Correct. Two drummers took the late John Bonham's place when the band played at Live Aid. One was Tony Thompson. Who was the other?
Phil Collins.
Yes. What was the name of the Atlantic Records producer and executive vice president who played a major part in negotiating Led Zeppelin's global recording contract along with their manager, Peter Grant?
Ahmet Ertegun.
Jerry Wexler. In 1972, the band were refused permission to enter Singapore. For what reason?
Hair was too long.
Yes, in the summer of 1968, Jimmy Page and Peter Grant invited Robert Plant to join the band that was to become Led Zeppelin after seeing him performing with which group at a teacher training college in the Birmingham area?
Hobbs Tweedle.
Yes, which traditional folk ballad popularised by Led Belly and adapted by Page and Plant includes the lyric, "Sister, I implore you, take him by the hand, take him to some shady bower, save me from the wrath of this man"?
Gallows Pole.
Correct. What was the title of Led Zeppelin's in-concert feature film, which had its official premiere in New York in 1976?
The song remains the same.
Correct. Which female folk singer duets with Plant on the track The Battle of Evermore on Led Zeppelin 4?
Sandy Denny.
Correct. In October 68, at which venue did the band make their first live appearance after changing their name from the New Yardbirds?
Surrey University.
Yes, as well as the band members, who else features on the songwriting credits for the track When the Levee Breaks, having written and recorded it with her husband, Kansas Joe McCoy, in the 20s?
Pass.
Led Zeppelin broke their own record for the highest attendance at a single-act concert when they played at which venue in 1977?
Pontiac Silverdome.
Correct. What's the real surname of the band's bassist, John Paul Jones?
Baldwin.
Yes, along with J.P. Lenoir, which legendary blues artist wrote the song You Shook Me that features on Led Zeppelin's first album released in '69?
Willie Dixon.
Yes, in which city was the band's seventh album Presence recorded before being released in '76?
Munich.
Yes, which song is the opening track on the album Led Zeppelin 3 and includes the line Valhalla, I Am Coming?
The Immigrant Song.
Yes, for which instrumental track on the Coda album does John Bonham, start it, so I'll finish, have the sole songwriting credit?
Bonzo's Montreux.
Bonzo's Montreux it is, the one you missed on, the one you passed on. It's Memphis Minnie who also features on the songwriting credits for When the Levee Breaks. One pass, but Ashok Venkatesh, 15 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Laura Campbell.
Your occupation?
I'm a graduate student.
And your chosen subject?
The fiction of H.P. Lovecraft.
H.P. Lovecraft it is. What name is given to the mythology or mythos which is the background to many of H.P. Lovecraft's stories, including the Dunwich Horror and the Thing on the Doorstep?
The Call of Cthulhu.
Yes. In his last year at school, Charles Dexter Ward had become occupied with finding the grave of which of his ancestors?
Joseph Curwen.
Correct. Which story first appeared in Weird Tales in May 1924 and was ghostwritten by Lovecraft for the escapologist Harry Houdini?
Under the Pyramids.
Imprisoned with the Pharaohs, but I'll accept Under the Pyramids. What is the name of the wizard on the planet Yadith who realises that Randolph Carter is another facet of himself?
Decorba.
Yes. The Haunter of the Dark is dedicated to which writer?
Robert Bloch.
Yes, in a postscript to his letter to Dr. Willett in 28, Charles Dexter Ward urges him to shoot Dr. Allen on sight and do what with his body?
Dissolve it in acid.
Yes, what phrase does Joel Manton use to describe the horror that attacked him and Carter in a story of the same title?
Ye liveliest awfulness.
The Unnameable, referred to in many of the stories, which unmentionable and monstrous book of which there's a forbidden Latin translation by Olaus Wormius was written by the Arab Abdul al-Hazred?
The Necronomicon.
Yes. What name do the locals give to the site of Gardner's Farm after its destruction by the colour out of space?
Pass.
Which ancient New England town where many of the stories are set is the home of the Miskatonic University?
Arkham.
Correct. What's the name of the old German musician who plays strange music on his viol in the Rue d'Orsay?
Eric Zahn.
Correct. In The Nameless City, the narrator repeatedly chants the phrase, the unreverberate blackness of the abyss, which was taken from a tale by which English writer who greatly influenced Lovecraft?
Dunsany.
Yes. What name is given in the Necronomicon to the normally shapeless, viscous masses created as slaves by the old ones?
Shoggoth.
Yes. What had been done to nearly all of the bodies in Christchurch Cemetery which made them useless for Herbert West's experiments in reanimation?
They'd been beheaded.
They'd been embalmed. What name do the people of Arkham give to the furry, sharp-toothed, nuzzling creature that serves as Keziah Mason's familiar?
Brown Jenkin.
Yes. In the Dunwich horror, old Whately exclaims, "They getting ready to catch my soul," as large numbers of which birds gather around his house?
Whippoorwill.
Whippoorwills it was, and you passed on one question. The Blasted Heath is the name locals give to that site of Gardner's Farm. One pass, Laura Campbell, 13 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Russell Turner.
Your occupation?
Postgraduate student.
And your subject?
Gustav Landauer.
Gustav Landauer, in 2 minutes. Until 1892, Gustav Landauer attended university in which city where he witnessed the poverty of working-class life?
Berlin.
Yes. Which medieval German mystic exercised considerable influence on Landauer, who published a translation of his work in 1903?
Meister Eckhart.
Yes. Landauer was the editor of which periodical, which folded in 1899, although he revived it in 1909?
Der Sozialist.
Correct. In Aufruhr zum Sozialismus, what did Landauer describe as the plague of our age and the curse of the socialist movement?
Capitalism.
Marxism. Work on the philosophy of language by which friend provided an important intellectual framework for Landauer's Skepsis und Mystik?
Fritz Mautner.
Correct. During the Second Bavarian Revolution, Landauer said of which political party that there was no more revolting creature in the whole of natural history?
Yes, PD.
Yes. In February 1919, Landauer spoke against which Bavarian politician, leading to a mass walkout from the Munich Workers' Council by Social Democrats and trade union leaders?
Auer.
Yes. Which writer did Landauer marry after his divorce from Grete Lauschner?
Hedwig Lachmann.
Yes. In which city did Landauer and Enrico Malatesta oppose the expulsion of the anarchists from the Congress of the Second International in 1896?
London.
Yes. What's the name of Landauer's early novella written while he was in prison in which the title character commits incest and murder?
Arnold Himmelheber.
Yes. In which prison outside Munich was Landauer beaten, shot and kicked to death by soldiers?
Stadelheim.
Yes. Landauer had discussions with which Russian anarchist while he was living in Bromley, later translated some of his works, including Fields, Factories and Workshops?
Kropotkin.
Correct. Landauer wrote to which American statesman towards the end of 1916 in an attempt to further the conclusion of peace and to set up a League of Nations?
Woodrow Wilson.
Correct. In which of Landauer's works does Marguerite read to Karl Stockblom from Nietzsche's book Also sprach Zarathustra?
Pass.
Which murdered friend and colleague did Landauer compare to Christ and Jan Hus during a funeral oration?
Pass.
Which of Landauer's friends edited his lectures on Shakespeare for posthumous publication?
Buber.
Yes. In 1915, Landauer contributed articles including Stelle dich, Sozialist, to which short-lived journal edited by Ernst Joel?
Ausbruch.
Der Aufbruch, otherwise the awakening. 2 passes. It was Kurt Eisner, who was his murdered friend, and that Landauer work was Der Todesprediger. So those 2 passes, Russell Turner, you two have 13 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Diane Hallagan.
Your occupation?
Assistant Accountant.
And your chosen subject?
The Hercule Poirot novels of Agatha Christie.
Hercule Poirot. In Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express, whose handkerchief with her Russian initial embroidered on it is found near Ratchet's body?
Princess Dragomirov.
Correct. In Hickory Dickory Dock, Patricia Lane tells Nigel Chapman that she found the bottle of morphine sulfate hidden in which specific place before she replaced it with bicarbonate of soda?
Pass.
What was the occupation of Mrs. Boynton before her marriage to Elmer in appointment with death?
She was a wardress in a prison.
Yes. In what item of sports equipment does Julia Upjohn find the hidden jewels in Cat Among the Pigeons?
A tennis racket.
Yes. In 1-2 Buckle My Shoe, what's the name of the hotel in which Miss Sainsbury's Seal was staying immediately before she was murdered?
The Glengarry.
Yes. What is the first of Poirot's cases in which he works with the lady mystery writer Ariadne Oliver?
Cards on the table.
Correct. In Murder in Mesopotamia, what's the real name of the thief who specialises in stealing objets d'art and other items from museums and is masquerading as Father Lavini?
Pass.
In Sad Cyprus, what substance is Eleanor Carlyle accused of using to poison Mary Gerard?
Hyoscine.
Morphine. Under what name do Bella and Dulcie Devine perform as acrobats, singers and dancers in their music hall act in The Murder on the Links?
The Dulcibella sisters.
Yes. In The Mysterious Affair at Stars, Inspector Japp tells Superintendent Summerhay that he worked with Poirot on which case involving forgery in 1904?
The Abercrombie case.
Correct. In Peril at End House, how much does Jim Lazarus offer Nick Buckley for the portrait of her grandfather so as deliberately to raise her suspicions?
£1,000.
£50. Which of the so-called Five Little Pigs says in his narrative that he stood as godfather to Amias and Caroline Crail's daughter, Carla?
Philip Blake.
Correct. In Third Girl, who does Norma's flatmate, the so-called art student Frances Carey, turn out to be?
Mary Restorick.
Yes. In which novel does a member of the Clode family attempt to hire Poirot for the purpose of finding grounds to disinherit Gordon Clode's unsuitable young widow?
Taken at the Flood.
Correct. When Poirot moves to King's Abbot, what dominates his time before he begins to investigate the murder of Roger Ackroyd?
Cultivation of vegetable marrows.
Yes. In Three-Act Tragedy, what's the title of the play by Muriel Wills that Angela Sutcliffe is putting on?
Little Dog Laughed.
Yes. In the ABC Murders, in which South Coast town was Betty Barnard murdered?
Bexhill-on-Sea.
Bexhill-on-Sea it is. You had 2 passes. In Murder in Mesopotamia, the real name of the thief was Raoul Meunier, and in Hickory Dickory Dock, it was hidden, the morphine was hidden, in his sock drawer. But those 2 passes, Diane Hallagan, you too have 13 points. So that's the end of the specialist subjects round. Very close. Let's have a look at the scores. In joint second place with 13 points are Laura Campbell, Russell Turner and Diane Hallagan. In the lead, just 2 points more with 15 points, Ashok Venkatesh. So, general knowledge now, and if there's a tie at the end of the round, then the number of passes get taken into account, and the person with the fewest passes will be the winner. Let's get on with it, and let me ask Laura to join us again, please. And the fiction of H.P. Lovecraft, a lot of people may not be familiar with him, but a strange man in lots of ways, wasn't he? He wrote
Very odd
horror.
chap, yes. He was a 20s horror writer. Had a style of a sort of existentialist science fiction horror, really.
Crumbs, that takes a bit of getting your head around. Existentialist horror, right. But horror of the, what, the kind of Stephen King sort, or a bit more thoughtful than that?
I have to say, the Cthulhu mythos in particular was something almost entirely original. He was an atheist, you see. He wanted to write horror stories that would frighten an atheist, someone who doesn't believe in devils or ghosts or an afterlife. And so he turned to science fiction to create these creatures.
Whom he never described, which he never described, and they were...
He did occasional bits of description, but they're mostly a sort of very vague sketch, which lets the reader fill in all the details as horrible as...
kind of
precisely
unspeakable
exactly
and unmentionable and all that sort of
unspeakable,
stuff.
unmentionable, unnameable, your liveliest awfulness.
Yeah. Daft question this may be, but do you read this sort of stuff for pleasure?
I think there's something quite cathartic about being quite thoroughly freaked out. To have the adrenaline rush with the knowledge that these things safely confined to the book. You close the book, you put it away. Not real.
You have 13 points, along with lots of other people tonight. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. Here we go. Jason Donovan's hit single Any Dream Will Do came from which musical which he starred in at the London Palladium in 1991?
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Yes, a plant or animal described as hirsute is covered in what?
Hair.
Yes, which Italian city hosted the 2006 Winter Olympic Games?
Milan.
Turin. At which battle that took place 3 days before William the Conqueror landed at Pevensey in 1066 did Harold II defeat an army which included his brother Tostig?
Stamford Bridge.
Yes, in music, which sign, when placed next to a note, lowers its pitch by a semitone?
Flat.
Yes. St. Perrin, whose day is celebrated on March the 5th, is commemorated in the names of several towns in which county of which he is the patron saint?
Rutland.
Cornwall. In England, which organisations were banned or restricted by the Combination Acts of 1799, 1800 and 1825?
Trade unions.
Yes, whose portrait appeared on the reverse of the £5 note, which was legal tender between November 1971 and November 91?
Stevenson.
Wellington. Which metallic element was once used in luminous paint along with zinc sulfide to cause it to glow in the dark?
Radium.
Yes, in the television comedy The Office, what's the name of the paper merchants where David Brent works?
Pass.
The Great Barrier Reef extends to some 1,250 miles off the northeastern coast of which Australian state?
Queensland.
Yes. Velasquez's only surviving female nude painting, The Toilet of Venus, is commonly known by what name after the house in Yorkshire where its former owners lived?
The Rokeby Venus.
Yes, by what name from the Quechua language is the cougar or mountain lion more generally known?
Puma.
Yes. In Act 1 of which opera do Marceline, Giacchino, Leonora and Rocco sing the quartet Mir ist so wunderbar?
The Magic Flute.
Fidelio. The name of which fruit related to the cranberry and blueberry did Mark Twain give to the hero as one of his books?
Huckleberry.
Yes. Which member of the Monty Python team plays a ghost called Nearly Headless Nick in the Harry Potter films?
John Cleese.
Yes. The official language of which country has two forms, Bokmal and Ninorsk?
Pass.
Which character in Romeo and Juliet does Lord Capulet address as Angelica?
Juliet.
No. Juliet's nurse. Two passes. Those languages, Bokmal and Ninorsk, come from Norway. And it is Wernham Hogg, the name of the paper merchants in The Office. Two passes, but Laura Campbell, 24 points. And now Russell Turner, please. And you may have a bit of explaining to do here because Gustav Landauer is not necessarily a name on everybody's lips. Can I describe you as an anarchist? Will that do?
That will do, yeah.
Right. So tell me why he's important.
He's important because he occupies a kind of, well, not unique place in the history of anarchism. He was a highly unusual thinker. He had philosophical ideas about, you know, perceptions of reality using art, music and poetry, which informed his anarchism, which kind of tended to set him apart.
So what did anarchy mean to him then? How did he see it being expressed?
He saw it being expressed in free communities. In
small communities?
Small communities which would federate. It was essentially a rural version of anarchism. There would simply be communities who would run themselves and they would be in free association with other communities.
A bit idealistic, wasn't it?
Oh, very idealistic.
Right. Well, 13 points. 24 is the score to beat at the moment. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. For what purpose has the polygraph been used by police forces since 1924?
Lie detection.
Yes, according to the Old Testament, on which mountain were the Ten Commandments handed down to Moses?
Sinai.
Yes, which monarch changed the name of the Royal House of Great Britain from Saxe-Coburg-Gotha to Windsor?
George V.
George V, yes. Who in 1948 was the first player to be voted the Football Writers' Player of the Year?
Stanley Matthews.
Yes, which poet's early works include the Masque Comus, first performed at Ludlow Castle in 1634 and first published anonymously in 1637?
Milton.
Yes, from which Cornish village is the height of the mean sea level taken for all Ordnance Survey maps?
Newlyn.
Yes, every specimen of which family pet is said to be descended from a single litter captured at Aleppo in Syria in 1930?
Guinea pig.
Hamster, the largest collection of which artist's works is on display at the gallery named after him in Salford Quays?
Lowry.
Yes, which London club was founded in 1831 by the Duke of Sussex as a place where patrons of the drama and its professors were to be brought together?
White.
Garrick. The fado, a popular song and dance with guitar accompaniment, comes from which country?
Turkey.
Portugal. Which Labour MP has been nicknamed the Beast of Bolsover since his election as an MP in 1970?
Pass.
In which opera by Bellini does the heroine, who is a druid priestess, sing the aria Casta Diva?
Pass.
Mike Judge, a physics graduate from the University of California at San Diego, was the creator of which teenage cartoon Couch Potatoes?
Beavis and Butthead.
Yes, which country administers Easter Island, also known as Rapa Nui, in the southeast Pacific?
Chile.
Yes, which businessman skipped bail in May 1993 and fled to the Turkish-occupied part of Cyprus?
Fired.
Azul Nadir, who became the president of the Save the Children Fund in 1970?
Princess Anne.
Correct. Which gas with the chemical formula CH4 is the main constituent of natural gas?
Methane.
Yes. Which country had the International Vehicle Registration letters SF from 1920 until 1992?
Finland.
Correct. You had two passes. That opera was Norma and The Beast of Bolsover.
Dennis.
Dennis Skinner, as you now remember. It's always like that.
Yeah.
Well, not always, because you've now got 25 points. And Diane Hallagan now, please. With Hercule Poirot. I'm intrigued by people who read a lot of detective stories, as you obviously do. Are you reading them because of the sake of the book, the literature, as it were, or because it's a puzzle to be done?
Yes, it's a puzzle to be done. It's just escapist entertainment, really.
Right. And do you sort of open the book, and because in the case of, tell me if I'm wrong, in the case of Poirot, all the characters could be the murderer?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So it's a race to see if you can get there before Poirot, which of course is very rare, or at least if you can work it out before the very end of the book. Yes.
And don't you want to be surprised at the end?
I suppose so, yes. As a child, I actually used to look at the back first.
Rather defeats the object, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely, yes. Couldn't wait to find out.
Right, 13 points. The score you now have to beat is 25. So let's see how you get on with general knowledge. Which London department store in Knightsbridge started when its founder took over a small grocery shop on the same site in 1849?
Harrods.
Yes, which bird was traditionally eaten at Christmas and Michaelmas in Victorian England?
Goose.
Yes, who won her first track medal when she took silver in the 10,000 metres in the World Championships in Seville in 1999?
Paula Radcliffe.
Yes, which British king is Henry IV of France said to have called the wisest fool in Christendom?
James I.
Yes, who painted Flood at Port Marley in 1876, in which the houses are reflected in the floodwater?
Turner.
Sisley, in which Australian state is the Margaret River wine growing area?
California.
Western Australia. What name meaning wisdom in Sinhalese is generally given to the sacred fig tree under which the Buddha sat when he gained enlightenment?
Pass.
Who was Chancellor of West Germany from 74 till 1982 when he was succeeded by Helmut Kohl?
Willy Brandt.
Helmut Schmidt. The song Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo features in which Disney film?
Pass.
Which river forms much of the boundary between Norfolk and Suffolk?
The Itchen.
The Waveney. Count Med de Sivrac is generally considered to have invented which means of transport in around 1790, his invention being variously known as a celerifer or wooden horse?
Bicycle.
Yes, by what name was Judy originally known when Punch and Judy shows first became popular in Britain in around 1700?
Pass.
Which former priest who was excommunicated in the 1360s for sermonising about a classless society was one of the leaders of the Peasants' Revolt?
What Tyler?
John Ball. Which of T.S. Eliot's poems begins, "A cold coming we had of it, just the worst time of the year for a journey"?
The Wasteland.
Journey of the Magi. Joanna Lumley played which character in the New Avengers with the
Purdy.
distinctive hairstyle copied by women all over the country?
Sorry, Purdy.
Purdy is the answer. In ornithology, which word derived from the Latin for sparrow is used for the huge order of perching birds?
Passiforms.
Yes. With which fellow graduate of Stanford University did William R. Hewlett found a company on 1st of January 1939 to make electronic equipment?
Packard.
Yes. In female mammals, what is the medical name for the womb?
Pass.
You'll kick yourself. The uterus. It's funny how things go,
Lost
isn't it? You had 4 passes altogether, including that one. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo comes from Cinderella. The bow tree is the sacred fig tree. And Judy, in Punch and Judy, was originally Joan. So there we are. 4 passes. Diane Hallagan, 21 points. And finally, Ashok Venkatesh, please. Led Zeppelin, who were by any standards a very, very, very popular band.
That's right. I think in their time, in many respects, they outsold the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Who, and so on, although they didn't have such a high public profile with the general public.
And the extraordinary thing about their success in one way is that they didn't actually court publicity.
No, as I said, they compared very well in terms of their record sales to the Beatles, the Rolling Stones and so on, but they had a much lower public profile. Partly that was a deliberate ploy, if you like, by the band and their management to maintain a certain air of mystery. But also, I mean, Jimmy Page, their guitarist, was very keen on centering everything on the music. He didn't want the band to be in the gossip columns every week and have big specials and interviews in all the newspapers. They'd rather have kept themselves to themselves for people to concentrate on coming to the concerts and buying the records, which they did in large numbers.
Right, well, 15 points so far, 25, the score to beat. To which part of the body does the adjective hepatic refer?
The liver.
Yes. Which legendary fictional lover made his first appearance in the play The Seducer of Seville, attributed to the 17th century Spanish dramatist Tirso de Molina?
Casanova.
Don Juan. What was the capital of Australia from 1901 until 27, when it was superseded by Canberra?
Melbourne.
Yes. In which place of worship are the tombs of both the Duke of Wellington and Lord Nelson?
Westminster Abbey.
St Paul's. Which popular variety of green sprouting broccoli is named after a region of southwest Italy?
Calabrese.
Yes. In World War II, what name was given to the RAF pilots who identified targets and dropped flares to guide the attacking force?
Pass.
The second of which composers' Hungarian rhapsodies is featured in Tom and Jerry's Cat Concerto and Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Liszt.
Yes. Also called the honey bear, the kinkajou is a member of which animal family?
Opossum.
Raccoon. Which television comedy series features a local shop for local people run by Tubbs and Edward?
The League of Gentlemen.
Yes. In May 2004, in the first test against New Zealand, who became the first England batsman to score a century on his test debut since Graham Thorpe in 1993?
Strauss.
Yes. By what name is the United States Military Academy in New York State generally known?
West Point.
Yes. Which organist, whose signature tune was I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside, played at the Tower Ballroom, Blackpool from 1930 to 69?
Pass.
On which island does the Owen Stanley mountain range rise to over 13,000 feet?
New Zealand.
New Guinea. Which actor was Carol Lombard married to when she died in a plane crash in 1942?
Pass.
Which West Midlands town has a zoo situated in the grounds of its castle?
Dudley.
Yes. Which great artist and scientist written works, which include the Codex Atlanticus, contain a variety of designs of flying machines and other modern-looking devices?
Leonardo.
Yes. And isohel is a line on a map joining points of equal amounts of what?
Sunshine.
Yes. Which politician became the MP for Dulwich and West Norwood in 1992?
Pass.
Which war began in December 1740 after the Habsburg monarch and Holy Roman Emperor Charles VI died without a male heir?
100 Years' War.
War of the Austrian Succession. In the context of the internet, what does the abbreviation HTML stand for?
Hypertext Markup Language.
Yes. What name derived from a mythical Greek king? I'll finish the question. Did Anders Ekberg give to the silvery grey metallic element he discovered in 1802 because of the difficulty he had in dissolving its oxide in acids?
Cadmium.
No. Tantalum. You had 4 passes. Tessa Jowell was the politician who became MP for Dulwich and West Norwood. Clark Gable was the one who married Carol Lombard. Reginald Dixon was the organ player. And those RAF pilots who identified targets were known as pathfinders. But Ashok Venkatesh just got there 26 points. Oh, nail-biting stuff there. So let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 21 points, Diane Hallagan. 3rd place with 24 points, Laura Campbell. 2nd place with 25 points, Russell Turner. 1st place with 26 points, Ashok Venkatesh. So we shall be seeing him again when he takes his place in our grand final. Congratulations. Do join us next time for more Masterminds and, of course, the grand final. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Anne Robinson's on top form for The Weakest Link next on BBC Two. In 45 minutes, it's decision day for 3 of Northern Ireland's finest chefs in Great British Menu. And at 2:45, we're spending a hair-raising night with the lions of the Animal Park. That's all to come on BBC Two.